Is this the best wide-angle lens for content creators in 2025? Let's find out. My name is Andrew, and this is Parts in Tech, where we review some of the world's most popular electronics, tools, and appliances. Today, we're going over the Canon RF 10 to 18 millimeter ultra wide angle pancake lens. We're gonna talk about who it's for, who it's not, what it can and can't do, some of the pros, and at the end, we're gonna go over some of its cons and a little bit of its flaws. So my first impressions here, the build quality. This is a Canon RF lens, so it's for more of the modern camera, the mirrorless cameras. This one's specifically built for the full frame R lenses it's really best used for, and it is an RF lens, but it's not one of the L lenses. So as you can see, there's kind of a little bit of a plasticky feel and look to the lens. It is machined very nicely. It's made very, very well. It's so smooth how it turns. And it is made very well, and it does a very good job at what it needs to do, but this is not the top level Canon L lens. This is going to be more of a budget-friendly option, and no, it doesn't feel heavy and strong and everything like that. It feels well made, but it does feel plasticky. It absolutely does. That's what this lens is. This is more of a budget-friendly lens for somebody looking to get between the 10 and 18 millimeter range on your lens. And that's honestly what this lens is. Now, this is a 10 to 18 millimeter lens, and it's a 4.5 to 6.3 f-stop, which means it doesn't get a ultra deep depth of field and super blurry background or anything like that. But the good thing is this lens really isn't made for that. It's not necessarily made to get detail shots or super up close tight photos with a blurry background. A lot of times this lens is used for landscape, architectural, maybe street photography, different things like that. It still does get a very good blurred out background, but it's not going to get as blurred as a 1.8 or anything like that. It's not going to go that low, but it still does a very, very good job at getting crisp shots with a variable zoom, which is very cool. It's not a fixed zoom, it's a variable zoom. It gets very crisp shots, not as much of a bokeh, the blurred background, not as much of that as maybe you might see in some other lenses, but still does a very, very good job at getting a good bokeh, and it does the job well. It's very light. It's a very light lens, which makes it easy for vlogging, street photography, carrying around for a long period of time. Makes travel with it easy as well. It is very light and it is very affordable. The affordability of this lens is like none other in this focal length, in this 10 to 18 millimeter range. It is a very affordable lens, and it does that very, very well. It gets the job done at the right price. Some of the pros here are the STM autofocus feature, which is the motor that's inside this lens. It's a very fast autofocus lens. It does a great job there. It does a great job at being affordable. It does a great job at being variable focus, so you can get different size or different angles with one lens, and you don't have to physically move to get a different perspective. You can zoom and you can zoom in, you can zoom out. It does these things very, very well. Some of the cons are that it feels cheaply made. It feels like plastic, which it is plastic. It's plastic and glass. And that might be a con to some people. It just depends on who you are and what you're trying to do. If your goal is to stay within a budget, or maybe your goal with this lens is you're not going to use it that frequently, well, then this is a great lens. There is a little bit of distortion around the edges when you zoom all the way out, and maybe you're shooting something with straight lines like a building or something like that, but it's not that bad, and you can typically get that distortion out in Lightroom or in Photoshop, and it looks great, especially at the price point that this lens is at. So this lens is for somebody who is looking to stay on a budget, wants to get this 10 to 18 focal range length, wants to get that part covered in maybe in their bag, in their backpack, with their gear, is somebody that might not use it all the time. This isn't maybe your go-to everyday lens. This is a great lens for that. Maybe you're looking to do street photography or architectural or landscape or maybe even vlogging. This is a great lens for vlogging. This is a great lens for you. If you're looking for the absolute best picture quality, like there's none better, this is the best, this isn't the lens for you. This lens is an affordable option for somebody who wants to cover the 10 to 18 millimeter range and doesn't want to break the bank, but still wants to get something that works really, really, really well at a very, very good price. Then this is the lens that I would absolutely recommend in the 10 to 18 millimeter range. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe.